And we're live on YouTube. Welcome everybody to the cafe. Come on in, grab your coffee or tea, pull up a chair, and hang out with us. It's our Tarot and Tinsel show. Woo-hoo. Christmas is almost here, Hanukkah, all the other holidays, and of course, New Year's coming up. We got some great shows for the new year coming up. And I'm so lucky because I've got Ellie with me today. I've got Pamela with me today. How you guys doing?
Roughly perfect. Oh, I learned something. See,
Mm,
you're never too old to learn. There's this huge discussion going on in some groups about saying happy holidays or Merry Christmas or whatever, right?
I do both.
Well, yeah, well, the thing of it is, holidays from an old English word, two words actually, meaning holy days.
Holy days, yeah.
So there you go. I mean, what you're telling people is happy holy days. So for pagans like me, yay, because it is. I mean, they call it the
Right.
12 days of Christmas. We just call it a party.
Well, Christmas, Hanukkah, uh, the Muslim holidays, the pagan holidays.
Kwanzaa?
It's
Is it
winter
one called
solstice.
Kwanzaa?
It's Kwanzaa. That was the other one I was going to mention, and it's actually winter solstice right now.
Yes, it is.
Today,
Today.
21st. Talk about
Yay!
we did not plan that. It just happened to fall
Yes,
that
we
way.
did. Yes, we did. We're very
Okay. Shh.
careful.
Yes, we planned this. We planned this out. I mean, God. Yeah, I grew up Catholic, and then
I'm
I
sorry.
and then I became a recovering Catholic. Now I'm a recovering Catholic. Been a recovering Catholic for 50 years because I was like, I got confirmed and everything, 10, then like 11, 12. I was just like, that's it. I'm not going, you know, Sunday Mass. That's it.
Baptist,
Uh, you
Southern
know,
Baptist.
it's like I figured out that Santa Claus wasn't real, and I figured out some other stuff too. And and
That don't go there.
I'm not going there. But
Okay.
for me, I still love Christmas, but it's not the religious holiday part of it. It is Santa Claus and Christmas trees and lights. In fact, I just, it's not the same this year because mom passed away in March and Christmas was her big holiday. And she'd be buying stuff through, Christmas in July and everything like that. So it's just not the same. But I tried to make things, a little bit, so like I bought new laser lights. We had the same laser lights for 14 years. I bought new ones that shine on the house and they move and they make patterns and, red and green. And I brought out my mom's Christmas tree. She has this giant ceramic Christmas tree. You guys that were around in the 80s might remember the little Christmas trees that were ceramic with the little bulbs, and the light inside would shine through the bulbs, and that was a fad that went away, but it came back. And then my mom found a giant. She had to buy this giant one, and then she was big into teddy bears. She has a Christmas teddy bear, and I dug that out of boxes and everything, and I put it next to the tree. And then my beanie, which is a male doll with the skull cap with the spinny on top of it. That is 61 years old. It was my first present. I was 6 months old when, because I was born in June. My first Christmas, I was 6 months. I put that on the other side of the Christmas. We're not doing the big, Christmas tree, put all the balls on, just don't feel like it this year. But at least I drug out the ceramic one, got the Christmas bear, got beanie, and it was hard to find all that stuff, let me tell you. And the lights outside, I didn't hang all the reefs and all that, and we have blow ups, and we got a giant Santa helicopter, and the blade goes around, and we've got a giant polar bear. I didn't put all that stuff out, but the Christmas lights from last year were already out, so all I got to do is plug it in the timer and turn it on. So that's what's going on. The other thing is, because mom passed away, and it's like, uh God, first year in 61 years I'm not getting a present from my mom, so I bought a present for my mom to give me, and it's a new tarot deck. It is the Soha Mystic Tarot Deck and Guidebook. And I was on Amazon and it popped up while I was doing something else. And I'm like, what's that? I never heard of that. I clicked
Your
on it.
mom sent it to you.
I swear to God. I,
She did. I
and
know that for a fact.
oh,
She's still
and
shopping on Amazon, by the way.
who's still shopping, and QVC. Don't forget QVC.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
she's still there. They
Yep.
never really leave you
They
decks,
never really
I can
leave.
promise you that.
So I looked at the images and I was like, oh my God, this is so me. It's like Ciro Marchetti meets uh I don't know what to call it, like fantasy, even more fantasy colors, you know. And I just like, oh my God, I got to get this deck. And then I'm looking at it, and then I looked at the price, 2222, the master builder number twice. And I'm like, oh, if that's not an indication for the universe, buy this freaking deck, you know. And it's for such an inexpensive deck. It's got a really good, hard to open box. And when you open it, actually, I opened it on Michelle's show yesterday, but let me put it back the way it was. So you're greeted with the book. And this book, talk about little white books from tarot decks, little black book. This thing is fantastic. It's got color. You never see
Wow.
that in the little tiny thing that comes with it. And so I read through some of the descriptions and some of the upright reverse meanings out of all, hundreds of decks, the little white books and everything like that. And sometimes you get something from China and you're reading it and you're going, what are they talking about? But this book is the most accurate description I've seen in a long time. I mean, the meanings are so perfect, the descriptions are perfect. It does give you a little, it doesn't give you a lot as far as interpretation, but it does talk about intention, talks about crystals, believe it or not, smudging and the sun and the moon, tapping into your intuition. And then it gives you some 3 card readings, and that's about it. And then it goes into the major arcana. But let me tell you, you're greeted with the Fool card. And it is just amazing. Let's see if I can get a better. I love that Fool. And
Yeah.
it is a borderless deck, matte finish, flat black on the back with a flower reminiscent of the flower of life. And I love how it's just flat black. And what's really cool about these images, especially some of them, like let's look at the Hierophant here, for instance. It's got black all around, and then it draws you to the color and the light more in the center. It just draws you in. And I think if I'm not mistaken, almost all the images, or maybe all the images, this background, which tends to be clouds and it tends to be all these different colors, is usually behind the subject. And so you get a shadowing effect on the subject, but it just draws you in. And let's see what else we got. High Priestess. Wow. And Death. I love Death because it's just the faceless hooded image, and that's it. It's nothing more scary than that. And the Star card. Let me see if I can find a minor arcana. Okay, well, Queen of Wands. And here's another example, 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups.
They do have a very powerful voice.
Yeah, it's the light and the shadow, the contrast, the light and the dark, I should say, and then the light and the color, the shadowing, it's very mystical. It looks like a deck that I could really use with clients and on these shows. It's just purdy. It's just purdy.
Who's the artist for that?
The artist is okay, so it's by Soha Mystic, and the card design and artwork is by Sophie Rowe, Rowe. Sophie Rowe.
Okay.
Yeah. Never heard of any of this before, but wow. I got my deck. I'm ready to go here. One of the things with the flat back finish, it is a fingerprint magnet. Yeah. But the card stock is, you can see the card stock, and then I'll do an individual one. It's on the thinner side, but actually really sturdy. And when you shuffle it, I mean, this really needs a lot of breaking in, but when you rifle it, it's very sturdy deck. I'm happy with the card stock. That was the thing that was worrying me the most. Was it was like, oh, it's going to be super thin. Like some of the Los Scarbeo decks are so thin. And even the Llewellyn deck by Llewellyn, that one's really, really thin. And I actually like heavier card stock, even if I have to kind of like cut the deck and I can't really shuffle. And overhand, the cards tend to stick together. So that's going to take a little while. In fact, after I found this on Amazon, I went to check it out on YouTube, and believe it or not, people actually have this deck and have done reviews. And some of them said that they used fanning powder.
Yep.
To get it. I've never used
do the wash with it.
Do the wash.
It'll help tremendously. Yeah, it'll help tremendously.
I'm gonna do that this afternoon after the show. I've never used fanning powder in 30 years. Never,
Me neither.
I've never had a problem.
Ellie, have you?
Have you heard of
You
fanning powder?
I haven't even heard of fanning powder. That would come in handy with a few decks that I have. They tend to stick, especially the gloss ones.
It was really popular, many decades to over 100 years ago, going all the way back to the very first fortune tellers with cards. And also magicians use it because it helps with the tricks with the deck, with being able to manipulate the cards. Right, Pam? Mm-hmm.
I think it was outlawed in Las Vegas for a while. I don't know if I doubt they don't use it, I'm sure, anymore, but
no.
Way back in the day when I was growing up, I remember something about it, and then
they have the shoes with many
they decks do. Anywhere from 3 to 7 decks now from the last report I got.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's ridiculous because your odds, every deck you add to that, it cuts your chances, which you can't win it back. It's just, don't gamble if you can't lose it.
Yeah.
What do I know?
Shout outs to Maria and Lauren in the chat. Usually Dan and Michelle are in there, but they had to rush their grandson to urgent care. So our prayers and thoughts are with them. Hopefully he's okay. Oh, speaking of this deck, I also used it for the card of the day. I was able to take a picture of it, take out the background, and get it on here. So cool. So nice. Yeah, that is the Judgment card. So you have learned the lessons. The cycle is complete, which is so perfect as we're ending 2025, which is a 9 world year, and we're starting a whole new 9-year cycle next year with year 1, 2026. So it's so perfect. The cycle is complete. The message is to answer the trumpet call of your authentic self. Stop holding yourself back with old stories or fears of what others think. A spiritual or vocational awakening is at hand. I always tell people this is the cosmic wake-up call card to me. It's time to resurrect a dream, take on a higher calling, and step forward with absolute clarity and forgiveness in your heart. You are ready for a monumental leap in consciousness and purpose. There you go. Card of the day.
You know, it's also the year of the fire horse in Chinese astrology. And we're coming out of the year of the snake, which means shedding old skins and things like that. And the
that's
fire
so
horse
perfectly lined up.
It just totally lines up. In the card I drew for today, I used the wizard's pets as justice.
Justice. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Synchronicity.
And justice means stop sitting back and observing. Okay. Get involved is what it's trying to say. Because how many times have you seen something that's really not cool going on, but you don't speak up? You don't say anything because you don't want to be labeled or whatever. Because it's not in your opinion, what you're saying isn't affecting you, but it does. Because if you don't speak up for others, who's going to speak up for you when the time comes? Not if it comes, but when it comes. How are you going to deal with this? And so, yeah, it's and that was something there again, shedding your old skin and embracing a new fast forward. Simple. I mean, I love horses, so what can I say?
I'm popping the link in the chat for everybody. By the way, in the chat, first name, last name came in. She says, hi, Pam. Or no, she says, yay, Pam is here. Hi, Ellie and Dax and everyone. So I made a URL for that Soha Tarot, and it's thetarotguild.com/SOHA Tarot, all one word there at the end there. thetarotguild.com/Soha Tarot. So you guys can grab your copy. $22.22, at least here in the US, in my part of the country it is. I don't know if it's different in other places. Probably is. You know how they're always jury rigging all the pricing and everything.
Always.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, go ahead and grab your copy of that. For the holiday show here, I actually made some spreads up and a PDF. Let me hand out that PDF right now so people can grab it while we're getting ready to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to pop it into the chat here. And if I can find the URL for it. Oh, it's at the top. I moved it to the top so I know where it was, and then I lost it. There it is. thetarotguild.com/holiday spreads. And just to make sure, I'm going to pop in my browser to make sure the download comes up. Yep, the download comes up. So you can download that. But I actually have it available on my screen. So like the first one was, I made up this holiday vibes tarot spread to embrace the holiday spirit. So it's 6 cards and you can lay them out any way you want, of course. And the placement number 1 is the hidden blessing, a surprise gift of wisdom or a realization coming your way. The anchor is number 2. What practice will keep you grounded when the season gets hectic? Because you know it will. It probably already is for a lot of people. Number 3, sparking the hearth, an action you can take to create a warm atmosphere for yourself and others. Card placement number 4, the guiding star, how your unique talents can best serve your community right now. Number 5, the winter rest, where do you need to give yourself permission to slow down and heal? And then number 6, the thin veil, how your ancestors or guides are trying to communicate with you this month. Just like you said, Pamela, with Mom and the Christmas deck from Mom.
Exactly.
So this is on the PDF. The other one that is on the PDF is a Christmas star spread. It's 7 cards laid out in a star pattern, as you see here. And this is all on the PDF, guys. And so there's 7 in this one. Number 1 is the celestial spark. What innate light or blessing is currently shining most brightly in your spirit? Number 2, the cosmic offering. What unexpected grace or lesson is in the universe placing in your hands right now? Number 3, the light bearer. How can you project your unique magic outward to uplift the collective? Number 4, the inner hearth. What act of kindness, radical kindness, or self-tending do you owe your own soul this season? Number 5, the midwinter seed. What quiet potential or new identity is germinating beneath the surface of your life? Number 6, the North Star. What truth or vision will act as your guiding light through the unknowns of the coming year? And number 7, the warmth of the season. How can you authentically deepen your connections and anchor love within your own circle? There you go. Couple of holiday spreads for you to play around with. Yeah. What else do we got going on here? I wanted to mention, of course, the new website, tarotbiz.com. Be sure to go check that out. And in between shows, you can find Ellie and Pamela and myself. You can find Dan and Dr. Rose and Michelle and Corby Mitleid and God, I'm trying to remember everybody that's on there. We're all on the new readings page, our tarot advisor page, tarotbiz.com/readings. Do I have a link to that? Let me grab a link to that. I'm going to pop in the coffee link for anybody that wants to send us a cup of coffee. And readings, tarotbiz.com/readings. I'll pop that in the chat for everyone. Let's see. And I did the Soho. The other thing I wanted to mention, you can join us on these live Zoom calls. So we're doing a simulcast through YouTube live on our YouTube channel. But as you can see, myself and Ellie and Pamela are on a Zoom call. And if you go over to tarotbiz.com/Zoom, you can read all about it. And if you're one of our members, the links are on the private members group. And if you're one of our students, it's on our course, our private course group as well. All the links to all the shows that you can join us on the Zoom and be up here with Pamela and Ellie and Michelle and Dr. Rose and myself and everybody that comes on the shows. And you can join us. You can get mentoring and guidance and coaching live on the Zoom call. Ask us any questions you want, or maybe you just want to come on and have fun with us and do readings for people in the chat. You can do that as well. So that's one of the perks of being a member. And then lastly, before I forget, because I always do, please subscribe to the channel and like the videos. It really helps us, and we're getting very close to that 1,000 subscriptions. So please like and subscribe. And then I did want to mention that we have the holiday sales going on. First of all, if you're already a member of the guild, you've already seen this, hopefully, on the private members group. You'll find the square link to the discounted professional certification. So instead of $134 per level, it's half off now, folks. It's $67 per level. Now, if you're not a member yet, go over to the website, tarotbiz.com, and click join now. And once you're there, we'll get you into the private group and you can get certified for half price. Now, if you are not ready for that yet, you're just starting out with tarot and numerology, you can enroll in my course and get your membership in the Tarot Guild and your professional certification included. This is a $500 value package, 60% off. I believe it's $199 over at tarotbiz.com/holidays. I'm going to pop that in the chat here real quick. Holidays. There we go. And lastly, if you want to book a session with me, it could be tarot, numerology, or life and business coaching, career, relationships. Maybe you need help with your tarot business, your psychic advisor business. 25% off right now. I believe it's $74.99. tarotbiz.com/sessions. There you go. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Do we have questions? And I'll mention to everybody, free mini readings, just put your specific question here in the chat on YouTube or request a message from the universe. You don't have to.
That was the first one we got right away.
What was that?
At the very top, message from the universe. Oh, Lauren.
Lauren's got a message to the universe. Okay. Who wants to be happy? Do you guys have did anybody pull cards? Ellie's doing it.
I can pull a message from the universe. Sure.
Pull a message to the universe. I'm gonna look for more questions here. Okay. I wonder if Ellie, do you know you're muted? Just checking.
Yep, sorry. I always mute myself. I also just talk to myself a lot while I'm pulling cards, so please excuse.
Awesome. We like to hear you shuffling. Rifle, rifle, rifle.
Shuffle ASMR.
Oh, it's hard to grab this deck. I have short fingers.
Yay.
So first name, last name, Maria. I think Maria put one in. Anybody else that has a question, put it in the chat there. Aloha Jay's here. Hey, Jay. Aloha Jay says, Ellie, do you have a Christmas deck? Oh, okay.
Ooh,
yeah.
Good question.
Well,
I don't have a Christmas deck yet.
After you pull the cards for who are we doing that for, Lauren?
Lauren.
Yeah, you'll have to tell us about Christmas decks.
Sure. All right, so for Lauren, let's go ahead and show you the cards we got for you. So Lauren, I pulled an oracle card as well as a tarot card. And the first card that came up from the oracle deck here is Daydream Believer. So I love that this kind of feels very solstice-y. This feels kind of winter solstice-y. It's almost like a cool, calm, ethereal energy coming from this card. And what it is, it's encouraging you to just really tap into the things that you want to bring forth, especially with the return of the light. That's kind of like the symbolism of winter solstice, you know, the darkest day. This is the longest dark day, but now we'll be moving into a period where the light will be returning. So this is a really good time to start planting the seeds of those daydreams you've had. And now daydreams, remember, are things that we're just kind of in waking. We're very conscious of them. So it's almost that energy of encouragement of the things that you're actively thinking of, actively planning, and actively working toward. So it doesn't have to remain a daydream. This can be something you're just kind of like, hey, let's start taking action. Now, the tarot card that did accompany that card is the Justice card. Let's see if I can get it without glare here, but the Justice card is all about balance, fairness, what is right by karmic energy, right? So this daydreamer or daydream believer and the Justice card kind of feels to me like a combination where it's inviting you to think about what is going to bring about the best amount of balance to your life as far as this daydream. Like, is this something you're working toward because you just want it? Or is it something that you know is going to add value to your life or to the life of those around you and just kind of bring about this very beautiful nebulous change? That's kind of what I heard there. So that is your message from the universe.
Oh, wow. Gorgeous cards. Love it. Love it.
Maria wants to know if her question got skipped, but I think it's next, isn't it, Dax?
No, it's next.
And she asked you to do it.
Yeah, I got it all set up, but I wanted Ellie to talk on Christmas decks. Do you have any Christmas decks, Ellie?
I don't think I have one yet. I've been really wanting, I think it's the holiday weight. It
Oh,
comes with like a lot of sparkles and kind of like this holographic effect to it. That's the one I really want. But yeah, I never really have gravitated toward like Christmas decks. Although I've seen some that are really lovely, I don't think I would read
yeah.
with them too much since, yeah, but I really should, right?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the Snowland tarot, and I've never been big in the holiday deck. Well, Christmas specific holiday decks. Now, Halloween, yeah, we love the Halloween decks. Linda's here. Thanks for joining,
Hi.
Linda. Happy
Hi.
holidays.
Happy solstice. Happy Christmas.
Happy solstice. Wunderbar, wunderbar. Okay, and
Jawohl.
I'm testing out speaker view, and it's showing me Linda, but hopefully I'm the one talking. So on the recording, I hope it shows me. Anyway,
Yes, I can.
this is a test. I'm testing this out because what we have done on the shows is like when someone was speaking, if we remember it, because that's the thing, we always forget. But if we remember it, we will all shut our cameras off so the person goes full screen so they can show cards. Well, I think this actually works better. So I'm giving this a test right now. Now, let me go back to Maria's question, which miraculously is not about who that she always asks about. In fact, at the bottom of the text here, she says, by the way, not about Philip, totally over him. So Maria says, I prefer the old school Rider Waite. Well, I kind of do myself too, but these cards are so gorgeous, so gorgeous. So I have to answer your question in kind of a roundabout way, because Maria asks, yeah, I'm wondering about an operation, how it's going to go next year. I need to remove a cyst inside my mouth, upper gums, blah, 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 roof in the gums. What are the side effects? I'd like Dax to check it out. Okay, so clarification. We can't read on anything medical. We're not medical doctors. We can't make medical diagnoses. Okay, so Maria, I have to answer this roundabout, which is more like how you're doing and feeling as the process goes on and so forth. So I got the Knight of Cups and the Five of Swords. I feel like the whole process is going to be kind of slow going for you. Okay. And I'm not sure, I'm not so sure with that Five of Swords. Swords are thoughts and ideas, and I really think that most of what's going to be happening with this, with your situation and how you feel and react around the operation and the medical situation, is your own thoughts and ideas. Because I also got, for the outcome afterwards, I got 3 cards, the Three of Wands and the Three of Swords. Really gorgeous cards. I don't know about my feeling on the Three of Swords. I'm so used to the big giant heart with the swords going through the heart. One of them's going through, but I don't know. It's pretty, but I don't know about the symbolism there, my feeling. But again, it's back to that swords. I always tell people, the Three of Swords, it looks like there's a potential after this operation for you to be in a state of anguish and sorrow and those kind of emotions. But I always point out that this is not the Three of Cups or a Cups card. This is a Swords card, which is kind of a big, huge hint whenever this card shows up. Because when you're feeling like that, after, and remember, these two cards, those 2 cards were before the operation. These 2 are after the operation, and it's all mental. Swords, thoughts and ideas. So how you're reacting, the anguish any negative feelings regarding the whole medical situation, number one, it's all going to be your thoughts on it. The actual physical effects will have waned by then. In fact, that's one of the things with the Three of Swords when it shows up. Most of the actual effect of whatever you're focused on has faded away, unless it's indicating like a love triangle or I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Guys, help me out. And it's a consequence of a love triangle when somebody's been, I can't think of the word. Something negative done to them, but there's a word for it that I'm trying to think of.
Victim. Yeah,
but there's a word for it, and I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. Anyway, unless it's something like that, unless it's something like that or a love triangle or something. Typically, when this shows up, things have faded away. What do you got, Ellie?
Dax, I just kind of wanted to add something that kind of hit me with that Three of Swords. It kind of feels like it's speaking to the mental anguish of like the worry and everything building up to the procedure, and then maybe in the aftermath it'll just be like you'll think too much about the pain, and that's what causes even more pain. But it's not necessarily a physical pain. It's just kind of like that dwelling and kind of sitting in that like, oh my gosh, it's hurting, and it kind of self-fulfills that prophecy. If it's okay, I actually pulled a card just to kind of see.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I think
that's what I was actually getting at, though, Elliot. I was getting at, that by that point, it's going to be all what she's doing to herself in her head.
Yeah. And I think the card that I pulled was kind of asking about, what is the next best step to help mitigate the after effects, of the procedure, and just to kind of comfort yourself. And the card that I got was actually the Four of Pentacles. So it's pretty interesting that kind of feels like just staying in a state where you're taking care of yourself, surrounding yourself with material comforts, good food, good blankets, good comfort. It's kind of keeping yourself safe and fortified in where you're in so much comfort, you're not able to focus on the discomfort and the worry about, what may have happened, what could have gone wrong. Now it's like, hey, we're in the recovery phase. It's okay to sit back, guard what you have, just take comfort in what is currently supporting you. So potential next best step after the procedure, just stay comfy, stay cozy, and take care of yourself.
Awesome. And by the way, Michelle made it into the chat and said, I see how the heart is being pierced. However, all the pain can be seen in the mind more than the heart. Great observation. And I asked Michelle, how is your grandson doing, Michelle? So I'm waiting for her to type back and let us know. Awesome sauce. Okay. What else is going on in the chat? I saw Astrid come in, Michelle. Who else came in? I thought someone else.
First name, last name. Dion. Hello, Jay.
Now, Jay said, coffee cheers, another day for a question, solstice celebration. Yes. And Jay.
First name, last name, ask a question.
Okay, before that, real quick, let me ask Jay, because he mentions a question, but I can't find it. So, Jay, if you have a specific question, pop it in the chat so we can answer it. And Pamela, you go ahead with who's first name, last name's question. I think she wanted you to do that one. Wanted you to do that.
Got the cards out.
Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, darling, you need to be looking at other options because it doesn't feel exactly solid to me. Working with this person on your book. As far as trades and compensation, yeah, there's definitely going to be some of that because this is the card I pulled for that. Okay. And this means yes, but it's on an emotional level. And yes, the person really likes the topic, and she's all of this, but she's still got to pay her bills. And the first card that it was what I was saying is looking at other options, because you got the Two of Wands. And this means check it out. Look for other avenues right now, like other ways to do this. Simply because the last card that came up is the Five of Swords reverse, which means if this falls apart, which it's right now, it's still up in the air. There's no solid yes or no about this, other than it's a labor of love. Let's call it that way. Okay. But it's not, if this does not come to pass, that just means you're not supposed to do it. I've seen this so many times in the past. And think back to Eric Dunn's Tarot Illuminati. One of his best friends who was supposed to write the book for that deck, he finished that in record time. And when he approached his friend and said, "Hey, how's the book coming?" He went, "What?" He hadn't even started it. And so he's in a mode of panic, and he quickly got a hold of me, and he's, "Now what do I do?" And I says, "Well, we've got a group called Tarot Deck Creators that you're in. Go in there and post and take people's, like, suggestions." And he had, within the first 20 minutes, about half a dozen people saying, "Oh, let me write the book for you." But it was actually Kim Huggins who wrote about, I think it was 4 or 5 pages on just one card and said, "Will this do?" And now that is a power couple if I've ever seen one, because those two did 2 decks, and both of them are absolute bestsellers, not with the original author though. So look outside what you're thinking right now and look for other possibilities, because if it doesn't come to pass, it's just a rewriting opportunity. Don't worry about it. It's just too soon to tell. So I hope that helps.
Awesome sauce. Okay, I'm putting something in the chat here. Steel Wizard Tarot, a great gift. There's a link to Pamela's deck, which is currently on sale, 18% off on Amazon, $28.58 for the entire package. And if you use our link there in the chat, yes, we get a little kickback from that, 4% or something like that. I don't think I've ever made any money off of Amazon, to be honest with you. I don't sell any of the big ticket items, I guess, But there's the link, thetarotguild.com/Steel Wizard. Steel is spelled with 2 E's, an L, and another E. So there's 3 E's. Thetarotguild.com/Steel Wizard. It's 18% off right now. Go grab it and gift yourself, gift someone else. It's a great one. And I got it right here. Steel Wizard Tarot.
I happen to have a copy or two as well.
Imagine that.
Yeah, really. But if you're in Canada, shipping across the border and stuff can be kind of tricky right now. But just track me down. I've got copies here. I can ship them to you. It's not cheap, but it's a lot less expensive than ordering it the other way and having to pay taxes on it or whatever they're charging. I don't know. But I do have some copies here at my house in my storage room. That's
very cool.
With the calendar on the door.
You mean we can get an autographed edition, maybe?
Absolutely. Same with the Wizard's Pets, and I've also got a few copies of the Eternal Seeker.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Great stuff. Great stuff. Okay. I think was that all the questions? I think that might have been it. First name says, "I guess that's my concern, if I will be able to find people who are receiving value from it to do that. These people all have other jobs." So that was responding to you, Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just too soon.
Astrid, I would love to ask, shall I go on a sabbatical soon next year? Who wants to pull some cards for Astrid? Linda, Ellie?
I can try.
Yeah, Linda.
So, hi. So could I have the question again, just to make absolutely clear? I'm distracted for a second because I can't get the chat on YouTube, only on Zoom.
So okay. Yeah, this is from Astrid. I would love to ask, shall I go on a sabbatical soon next year?
Okay. So I'll pull out some cards. I'll pull out 2 cards, maybe. Oh, now the first one I've got, let me go back a bit. So I need to get away from the chat. So the first card I've got is the 7 of Coins. And that gives a little bit of a pal, because it's saying that you might have to be a bit more careful about your resources next year. The 7 of Coins is the kind of card where you're working behind the scenes. It's not particularly glamorous, possibly not always particularly rewarding. And I don't know, but to me, that suggests a little bit of caution at the moment about doing it, because it could be that resources are not all they could be right now. So that's a little bit pessimistic for the time being. Let's see what else I've got. And the other card I've got is the Hermit. So the Hermit is, well, a sabbatical. If it involves a kind of retreat or withdrawal, then that could be the kind of thing that you would need at the moment. It's important to get in touch with your inner voice, if you like, the still small voice from within. And so if it's more the meditative kind, or the one, or a cloistered kind, that could be the kind of sabbatical that would work. It doesn't look like, kind of fun and games, holidays by the sea or anything like that. There's a lot of introspection and going in deep. So if it's that kind of sabbatical you have in mind, well, those are the 2 cards which would indicate that. Can you see it? Is it close in now? Is it visible?
Yeah, we see it.
Great. So the 7 of Coins and the Hermit. So there's an element of putting in the work with that one, and not looking for often without looking immediately for gratification or rewards. It's about really getting into it, getting to grips with something that could be quite challenging and slow going in the beginning, but it could be a great way to get to know yourself a lot better. For deep study too, I would say these are good, because study, doing the research and the study, again, that can often be quite tedious work. Anyway, those are the 2 cards that I've pulled for you. I hope they're helpful.
Really great. Awesome. Astrid says, yes, it's no fun and beach. It's more like a retreat. And that can be great too. Real quick here, as we're getting towards the end of the show here, what's coming up on the network? First of all, you can grab us a cup of coffee anytime. And, if you're asking questions and you don't want to wait, you want us to take your question right away, jump the line, grab us a cup of coffee, let us know. Or if you're just enjoying the show and you want to send us a little love, I'm going to put the link in the chat again, thetarotguild.com/coffee. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized I put the wrong URL. It's actually on the Tarot Biz website, tarotbiz.com/coffee. There we go. I put the corrected one in. Let me see does it let you delete that? There we go. Going to remove that. Okay. So coming up next weekend, Saturday, December 27th, is Michelle's Mystic Corner. It's her monthly Crown Share Saturday episode. Bring your deck. And this is the one show that she does a month where you can join her on the Zoom and pull cards. It's an interactive episode, and she does it the 4th Saturday every month. By the way, starting in June, her shows are moving a little bit. She's going to be on the 1st and 2nd Saturdays and the 4th Saturday. There'll be no show on the 3rd Saturday because I have to do meetings that day now. We've changed our schedule at the Legion. So we won't be doing a show on the 3rd Saturdays. If there's a 5th Saturday, we'll be doing an extra show, of course. And then that Sunday, December 28th, The truth about general readings on YouTube. Do they actually drive sales? Uh-oh, I just noticed a typo. I forgot to put the Y in. Oh no. But that's what it's supposed to be. Do they actually drive sales? We're going to be talking about that. And then we'll be in 2026, the first show of the year, Saturday, January 3rd. Michelle's Mystic Corner, beginning the new world year cycle, because we're starting a whole 9-year cycle off with the 1 year next year. And that Sunday, January 4th, hello 2026, world year of one, starting the year off right. We'll be also talking about personal year numbers. Where are you in your personal year cycle? How is that in relation to the world year number? Because they're different for most people. And then I just found out my mother-in-law, though, isn't. She's actually got the same personal year and same as the world year, which is really cool. But we'll talk about how do you calculate those numbers. And I'll have a cheat sheet, a PDF handout on this January 4th episode of all the personal year numbers for you. So be sure to join us for that. Yep. All righty. See. I think we answered everything. Yeah, so the
Can we just do a general, everybody pull a card for the solstice reading?
Let's do that. That's a great idea.
Just a thought. I mean, in general.
See what we can.
Sorry to be a pain. Could you repeat that? They pull a card for.
Everybody pulls one card for today, the solstice, so that we have a solstice reading.
You just had it today. Yeah. Okay, that sounds cool.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
I got one.
Okay, let me put the gallery on. By the way, the gallery thing is working really good. So we no longer have to turn our cameras on and off. If you want to turn your camera off because you want to go do something or scratch your nose or something, that's fine. But I'm going to start using this from now on in the shows where I'll just switch us to speaker. So who wants to go first with their card?
Okay, this is my idea, and I don't mind being the guinea pig.
Get a little closer, Pam. You're fading away. Voice-wise.
Old people. I am always fading away. Okay. Well, the daily card I pulled matched up with Dax's because I got justice. But for the solstice itself, I pulled the Weaver. Okay. Now, this card represents your personal thread, your personal on your life path. Okay. Now, reversed, she means that you've gotten your energy's too entangled with someone else. But what's important about this is your personal path. Okay. And it's about following that and not stepping off of it, because so many of us, well, when we get on a spiritual path, there'll come a time, usually after about 7 years, that you kind of step off of it to just explore who you're not. Well, this is telling you already know that now. It's time for you to get back to the business of being you. Follow that thread, let's say, in the great tapestry of life that belongs to no one but you. And you might travel with someone for a while, you might not. Either way, it doesn't matter. Stay on your path, because this is what's going to make a difference in the long run. We're really close right now, so it's time. Okay, put your foot there and be brave. Okay, you can do this. Next.
Awesome. I've got an unusual one. But it's not bad, even though it's a 5 card. I got the 5 of Pentacles. But look, it's an idyllic winter scene, perfect for winter solstice.
Yeah.
I love that. Also, this 5 of Pentacles, you may notice, is different from other ones we've seen. Usually there's a couple of people out in the cold, literally out in the cold. And one of them has a leper's bell around their neck and they're on crutches. They're out in the cold, but at least they're together. At least they're together. but they're walking by a oh God, help me out here, guys. My mind just blanked completely.
Stained glass window of a church.
Stained glass window. Yeah, I kept thinking pain. Wait. But you know, a few minutes ago when I was looking at the card, but while you were talking, Pam, I thought of stained glass window, and then poof, right? Talk about senior moments. It's getting more and more ridiculous. But they're in the traditional Waite Smith version, they're walking past and they don't see the stained glass window. They don't see the sanctuary within arm's reach. But in this version from my new Soha Tarot, they're actually walking towards the stained glass window. They're walking towards sanctuary. So that I think that's really cool. Major difference. And I feel like, you know, anybody that's feeling like they're out in the cold, don't worry, you're going in the right direction. And you know, to me, this is 2026 right here. And you're going right towards 2026, where you're going to find, you know, hearth and home and sanctuary and warmth and prosperity and so forth. Yeah. So that's what I got. Who's next?
Yeah, to me, is always also represented a bit of a karmic situation. Has anybody else ever noticed that?
Tell me about that.
Well, the Five of Pentacles. Okay, nothing happens to us by chance. We've chosen parent, situation, birth location. We've chosen all of this. And our goal is to remember our truth and who we really, really are, not just meat sacks, okay? Because we are eternal beings having a human experience. That's that simple. And when you pull the Five of Pentacles, it's telling you that you have some unfinished karmic business to attend to. It's not going to be the end of you. It just needs, it's just another thing. It's like one door closes, another one opens. That's the whole concept behind what I've always seen in the Five of Pentacles. Pentacles, big word I couldn't think of.
Awesome. Who's next? Ellie, Linda, who has their card ready?
I do. I've got the King of Swords. And the only thing that's really solstice-y about it is the sword itself in the image. So it's white, it's light on one side and dark on the other. And of course, now we've got to the stage where we are now leaving we've had the darkest day of the year and things are going to get lighter again. I see this card about, he's a kind of an emanation of justice, if you like, in some ways, can be quite a ruthless character. I have a feeling there's an element of getting our houses in order as we wind up with the new year. That might be bureaucracy, like tax returns, or it could be just making sure that everything's on the level legally. I don't know, but there's a kind of a winding up to do. I often notice, for example, on Christmas Eve, that's just when you get some difficult letter from some kind of bureaucratic body. That's happened to me more than once. So it could be to do with that. But anyway, yeah, getting things in order, getting things all cleared away for the new year, making sure that everything's on firm ground. That's how I would interpret the King of Swords here. So bring it closer in, King of Swords.
Cool. Very different card. Look to that.
Yeah.
That's Linda's deck.
That's my deck.
That's Linda's deck. We got to tell everybody that, you know.
It's the Chalice Tarot deck. That's correct. And just as a little bit of extra news, I found a
thought
place
that
in
was probably your deck.
Yeah. It's a place in the UK, and I've got some spanking new cards sort of made up there with lovely dust covers and kind of slightly sparkly cards themselves, nice quality. And at the moment, I think my partner's going back to the UK for a little bit. And so when he comes back, I'm going to ask him to bring back some extra cards. And the more you order, the more you get. So there we go.
Oh, there you go.
That's my deck. But that's the King of Swords anyway.
Thanks, Linda. And Ellie, what'd you get for the winter solstice card draw?
Right. So for the winter solstice, I wanted to ask for a message of how to spend the winter solstice. What's the best use of my energy or our energy collectively? So interestingly enough, an oracle card and a tarot card, we got a message of rest, recalibration. So first was the oracle card here with duality. And I feel like this is really speaking to honoring the duality of being in the place of the past, this past year. We're reflecting on 2025, as well as planning ahead for 2026. So we're in this weird kind of liminal realm of what happened this past year? What do I want to happen this coming year? How do I reconcile both those things, those desires? What can I do actively to kind of make that something I can look forward to, while also honoring what has already come to conspire, right? Or transpire. And the card here, oh, now realizing it's a little hard to see. This is actually the Four of Swords. This is from the Tildwick Tarot. And I love Tildwick because this one feels like exploring your inner rooms, your inner world. The whole concept of the deck is that it's like a home, it's a house, and there's multiple rooms. They're all kind of tailored to the feel of the individual card itself. And here, there's like this little wheelchair, as well as, I think this is kind of like a little window. But
it looked like a crystal ball to me.
Yeah, it could, doesn't it? It feels very like not isolating, but just kind of in a place of peace, quiet, calm. There's almost this reflective, quiet quality to it. Not quite like a tomb as depicted in the Waite-Smith deck, but it does feel kind of like this place of recovery. So with that whole duality energy coming through, it really does feel like we're being encouraged to just kind of sit in the in-between, sit in that energy of what's coming next. How can I create what's coming next, right? The sword's all about our thinking processes, our thoughts, what is in our mental realm. So really just kind of sitting with that and seeing, you know, what has already been established? What do I want to establish? How can I reconcile those two things and create the future that I want moving into 2026, especially because it is a 1 year. So very like initiatory energy there. So now's the time, everyone. While we're in the darkest point, we can look forward to the light, look forward to what's coming in. So just kind of sit in that and plan ahead.
Wow, that's great. You know, I'm looking behind you with the moon phases in that. And you know what it looks like? It looks like an old time television set, and you have the moon phases on the screen. That's what it looks like from here anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Well, happy holidays, everybody. We made it to the end of the show. I did want to mention real quick that in chat, Michelle had said her grandson is feeling better. He got a new inhaler and he's breathing better now. Yay. That's good. That's good. So I hope everybody has a fun holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate. And Merry Christmas to those that celebrate on the 25th. And New Year's is coming up. Oh my God. 2025 went blazing by. It's those senior moments, you know. I got a new deck to break in. I'm going to do Pamela's spreading idea there, try to get it broke in a little bit. It is getting a little bit easier to shuffle now, getting the cards to separate, you know, a little bit more. But it's hard to rifle this deck, you know, but all decks for me because I have short fingers. Anyway, so we'll see you all next weekend. Remember, if you're a member, you can join. Remember, if you're a member, you can join us on the Crown Share Saturday, Michelle's show next Saturday. And then we will be here on Sunday. You can also join us and just go to tarotbiz.com/Zoom. I'll put that in the chat so you can figure out how to do that if you're a member. If you're not a member, go to tarotbiz.com and join. Do it now before the end of the year. You know, we've got, it's just the cost of a latte a month. It's $6.50 a month, $78 for the year. It's billed annually, $78, the number of cards in the tarot deck. There's my package deal at tarotbiz.com/holidays if you want to get my course and the membership and the certification. But do it now before the end of the year, because we're working on some things. You know, we recently went to the new website, tarotbiz.com. And actually, let me put that up real quick. Website link. There we go. We went to the new website, and that's what we're going to be using going forward. But we don't have the community site anymore. So we moved everybody onto Facebook, but not everybody likes Facebook. So we're looking into creating a new platform, a new community on a new platform. We're investigating. And the way it will be probably different membership tiers and levels and stuff like that. So you're never going to get a better deal than you can right now, because it's going away probably in January when we set up the new tiers. It's going to be very different. Now, if you're already a lifetime member, like everybody here, and so forth. By the way, in preparation for this, I searched through my records, I searched through files, I searched through our payment processors to get a list of the names and email addresses of every lifetime member. And when I was completed, finished the list, there's 78 lifetime members of the Tarot Guild. You can't make this stuff up. It's the universe just, the tarot just winking at you. It's like, and so I'm going to be able to invite all of you to the new platform individually. I just put your email address in, and it lets you in free of charge because you're a lifetime member. It just lets you right into the new community. Everybody else, there'll be a paywall, and you can pick what tier you want to go in. So if you're a lifetime member, be looking out. I haven't 100% made the choice yet on the platform, but I'm pretty close. So be looking out for announcements coming up soon. Thanks, everybody, for joining Linda and Pamela and Ellie. I thought I was going to be on here by myself today because Michelle had her emergency. And so I'm really glad you could all join us. And we'll be back next weekend.
Okay.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.